What's up guys, it's Catthorne's Productions 72 and welcome to my review of set 9515 or 9515, The Malevolence, released in summer 2012. If you do enjoy this video, please like, comment and subscribe. Let's jump right into those minifigures. Before we do that, a little bit of information. This set was released in 2012 for the price of, I believe, at least in the UK anyway, £109.99. This set has 6 minifigures, although I have a little critique of that. It has 2 instruction manuals. Unfortunately, I do not own the box for this set. I bought it used. And towards the end of the review, we will get into things like that. So, of course, I'm starting up here where I normally review sets, but unfortunately, this one will have to be done on the floor due to this is the size of the set. This is the angle you would be getting otherwise, so I'd rather have a full-on out angle, just as that would work a lot better. So I'll see you guys once we have this thing set up. Let's get right into those minifigures, because trust me, this has a couple of cool ones. So our first minifigure is a Battle Droid Commander. I looked up a picture of the box, so we're going in order. So this is your standard B1 Battle Droid with the Commander. There's nothing too special about him other than he has a dot there. And on his head, he has a bit of yellow. It's a really cool minifigure. He is brand new to the set. A couple of the minifigures are this and Padme are the two that are... I don't think they're exclusive. I know the Padme is. The Battle Droid, I'm a bit iffy on that one. But 2 of the minifigures were brand new at the time in summer 2012. This is one of them. Really cool to put in front of your Battle Droid army. Works really well. You can definitely see some of that yellow. I really do like this minifigure. Let's move on to the next one. And here is our next minifigure, being Padme Amidala. So Padme is not a character we get often in LEGO. In fact, it's one of those characters that you could, well, maybe not too easily price-wise, but definitely wouldn't take too long to get all of them. I don't believe there's been that many variations. Episode 1 is the one she has the most versions of, and there is no Revenge of the Sith version. But here, back in 2012, we got Clone Wars Padme, which, yes, has one of those weird-looking Clone Wars faces. I will grant you that. But it's still one of those minifigures you wouldn't expect to get. I personally remember getting this set. I had obviously repurchased it recently, but I got this set for Christmas of 2012. And I was kind of, like, blown away that we actually got this minifigure, because I didn't expect something like this in this set at all. So it's a really cool minifigure to get. Again, some people are going to comment it looks a bit ugly, but it's not a bad minifigure. It's quite cool if you're making a Senate mock or just like Coruscant mock from the Clone Wars. It could be used. I do not believe she has a double face. No, she does not. I don't think any of the characters in this set do. But really cool torso print. There is no leg print. Keep in mind, this is 2012, so they're only just, beginning to do stuff like that. So let's move on to the next minifigure. So our next minifigure is a standard B1 Battle Droid. These are in probably hundreds of sets at this point. I think I review one of these every goddamn week now. Maybe that's an exaggeration, but these are in so many sets, and rightfully so. They are very army buildable. It's not something that I would not mind, building a giant army of. But no, would definitely go and try and get a few more of these. They do lay the box out in quite a strange way. Like, it's a bit odd the way they've done it, but it's not too bad. But you'd think this would be next to the Battle Droid Commander. Anyway, let's move on to the next minifigure, which is Count Dooku. So, with Tales of the Jedi having not long been released, this is a kind of a cool minifigure, which has gone up in price a bit. This is Clone Wars Count Dooku, and I actually was just able to confirm right there, without even looking, he does not have a double-sided face, because you would see the beard. So, that's nice to have that confirmed. Really cool minifigure over... Just fix his hair, please. Obviously, all these minifigures, other than the Battle Droids, will have their Clone Wars animated look. It's a really cool minifigure. Only came in 2 sets. Count Dooku, like Padme, does not have... Count Dooku only has 3 variants in LEGO. His original yellow-skinned one from 2002. His Clone Wars one from 2009, which is where this figure originated from. And then his 2013 Attack of the Clones one, which is the most expensive. He has his special curved lightsaber, which we just have to look at separately. I do believe Count Dooku, even though they've not done him since 2013, is the only figure that we're still giving chrome hilts to, which is kind of cool. Makes it a bit special when you get a Count Dooku minifigure, not that we get him that often, so maybe that's why they've done that. I mean, that's one way to look at it. I really do like this figure, especially the printing on the torso. It doesn't need leg printing, in my opinion. It looks really good. It doesn't need all the extra additions and add-ons that you might think he needs. I like him the way he is. He's perfectly fine. Our next minifigure is a figure that was in so many sets. I think I have 3 or 4 of them. Clone Wars Anakin. So if you were buying Lego Star Wars sets, or you were a Lego Star Wars collector back in the 2008 through 2012 era, guaranteed you got way too many of these things. I don't hate this minifigure before someone accuses me of that in the comments. I have nothing against it, but other than the version they did in 2011, where they updated them to be kind of a season 3 style, this figure was everywhere. I have quite a few of them. Again, I don't hate the minifigure. It is a cool minifigure to have. Obviously, he was in the scene, inside the Malevolence in those season 1 episodes. So obviously, it's based off Anakin from season 1 of Star Wars: The Clone Wars. It's not a bad minifigure, but it'd have been cool if they updated the leg printing, although they did that not too long ago. Like, they updated season 1 Anakin. It took them until 2018, but not a bad minifigure, but it is probably the most aggravating figure. Again, if you didn't have a Clone Wars Anakin at the time, that would have been great, but even 9-year-old me in 2012 had this Anakin, so it was like, let's move on to arguably the coolest minifigure in the set for me. And here it is, General Grievous. So this minifigure is a really cool minifigure for many, many reasons. He was the first proper General Grievous to have, or want to look like this. The one that they still use up until recently, which I believe was 2020 was the last time we saw Grievous, but he has been white since 2014. So the last 8, nearly 9 years, he's been in the white colour. But in 2010 Grievous Starfighter and the 2012 Malevolence, turns out he was only in 2 sets, I thought he was in more, they used this really cool tan colour, which all of this is unique to him. It has this really cool look. It can hold 4 lightsabers, as you can see, and I really, really love this minifigure. One of my all-time favourites. Sorry, sore throat. But yeah, I love this figure for a lot of reasons, and it's one of my favourites of all time, and it's got a lot of nostalgia to it, because I remember when I opened this set on Christmas Day that year, I did not have this Grievous, and honestly, this at the time was the coolest thing ever to me, and it was my favourite figure in the set, and it still is one of my favourite figures in the set. It's probably a contender between this and Count Dooku, and they're both really cool inclusions for things like droid armies. I really do love this minifigure. This set is got some nostalgic stuff in it for me, so yeah. I think we are ready to move on to the Malevolence itself, which will require us to film on the floor because, well, the Malevolence can fit here, unlike the last 2 sets we decided to do on the floor. Well, they could fit here as well, but it's what you can see, it would be too zoomed in. You would not be able to see the whole set at once. Let's jump down to the floor and look at the Malevolence. And if you follow instructions, which I'm not capable of doing because I'm clearly very small-minded, you'll have something that looks like this. It's very, very long, and fun fact, it is the only Separatist ship or anything from that faction that retails for over 100. They didn't make anything bigger than this, but everything downwards is small, like droid tri-fighters, Separatist shuttles, AATs. In fact, the AAT from 2020 was the first Separatist set released in about 5 years, so they don't do much of it. And this is the only big capital ship. They didn't do the Invisible Hand or any of the dreadnoughts or the frigates, so you can't even buy multiple of this because it's a one-time ship. So it is covered in stickers. I don't think there's any prints, but it was 2012, so of course it's stickers. And it's also covered in flick fire missiles. So if we come over to the front, it has this detail here, the lights. Now the lights make the ship feel bigger. These are multiple stickers going over a panel which kind of bends along. So on the other side as well, seeing there's kind of from a front angle, it looks really good. It's a bit of an awkward set to review given the way I'm going to do it. So the first feature is this can clip off. I'm just going to show you. It just clips off like that. You see a little clip there. It's one big piece. And you have the interior of the ship. The inside has got a lot of Lego Technic. Basically here and here is the Technic contraptions. If you remember back to the episode that this features in, it has the ion cannon that disables ships. It's like a big EMP basically. So starting in the interior, you have these kind of green lights, which I'd say is accurate. With a little control panel. This is stickers. Again, that's a sticker as well. So this seat is kind of unique looking. It's so battle droids can sit in it, because battle droids do not have the normal kind of studs that minifigures do. So obviously it's going to be a bit harder for them to have places to sit and sit. So what you can do is you can take your battle droid commander. Now the blasters, as a kid, I would always just, I'll show you where I put these. I would always just stick blasters and lightsabers for characters on these bits. They don't really give you an exact place to do anything like that. I again apologise for my throat, it hurts a lot. So you can take your battle droid commander and you can stick the back stud, the stud on the back of the droid can stick to the back of this chair. It does swivel quite a bit when you try to do it, but you can get him in there. And you can have him, you know, of course, pilot the Malevolence, which works quite well. Now, the second command station over here, you have two choices. You can either have a battle droid here, you know, just manning the station. But on the box, it's going to show you having General Grievous. Now, again, there's nowhere to put the lightsabers, but I'll show you what I did. I would always just stick them to these studs here, but it's not the most accurate look, but it's a place that I've found on the set that works, you know, well enough to do it. Just stick them in here like so. Like that. Of course, General Grievous, 4 lightsabers, it takes a little while. Again, you could always just put them off to the side, but I just thought I'd show you that that was an option. Grievous will just go like this. Just gonna stick it. His feet are a little bit awkward at times. There we go. And he fits in there rather nicely along with your battle droid commander. So you do get a little bit of interior space in this set. Again, this set is more for looks. I think it's because of the shape and the Technic and the size that Lego went with. Takes away from the interior, especially in the back section. You'll definitely see what I'm on about. But as a kid, I got this in 2012 for that Christmas. And the Clone Wars episodes that these were in 2008, so I'd already forgotten what the Malevolence was. And for some reason, as a kid, I thought this was the ship from the opening of Revenge of the Sith. So I would always have the Anakin and Dooku fight back here. I mean, you can probably fit a few battle droids in here, but as a kid, I would always have this scene set up. You know, and sometimes I'd have it set so that Anakin is beheading Count Dooku, because of course. I mean, sure, you could build, you get a fair few minifigures in here. Although, as much on the box and in the instructions, it also shows these two having a fight, even though that's not accurate. Obi-Wan would have maybe been a good fit, but if you had bought the pre-Vizslas Mandalorian Starfighter, you would have got the Season 1 episode, the Season 1 design of Obi-Wan. Again, I'm trying to see how many I can fit just in here, in the back. Again, it's not the easiest thing to do at all. It's not a very spacious ship. You could probably fit battle droid kind of in the front here, but you know, in front of this little station. But yeah, that is the best you're gonna get. Not the best for fitting in minifigures. So basically, what I'm gonna do is we're gonna see if this closes up. I did remove those lightsabers because that prevents you from closing up. So the lightsabers, if you wanted, you could just put them in a bag or whatever, or maybe even keep them on Grievous. That works as well. So take this. Hopefully it doesn't knock any minifigures down. Didn't knock any down. So coming over to the back, gonna move these out of the way. The back has got those same details. It's on both sides. You also get the little bridge detail, which is it's pretty cool. This is the interior that you get in the front is meant to represent what's up here, which you get a little red stud to represent it. It does look really good. Again, it's kind of like how they do the Star Destroyers and the Venators. Maybe not the Venator, but Star Destroyer is they always put the bridge in the front because they obviously can't fit that in here because this is only a small section. So I'll take that off and show it. Yeah. So here you get this panel that opens up like this, and basically you get this little cart inside. This bit can open up and this bit can move down as well. I'll show you the cart on the other side, because it's got the more detail on it. But if you turn around here, open this up, pull this down, you get these little carts. Now you're probably wondering, why is there little carts with a hammer inside? The reason that is there is because if you remember from those episodes, you get the trains that run inside the Malevolence. I think that is what these are meant to represent. It's also just good for storage. I suppose you could put the lightsabers inside if you maybe remove the hammer. So yeah, we'll try it with the hammer inside just to see. Again, not the most suitable place to store them, but again, it's something just to try. See, it's not going to work, but you know, it was kind of fun just to see whether or not that would work. And you've got these little pins in here, these Technic pins, that kind of show you to hold them both in place against these little cheese swaps. So this little bit here that kind of, if you press it down, you know, you have to apply some force to get it to come out, which is pretty cool. And you know, you can always just, you know, fold up the panels like that and be good to go. So to understand the full scale of how long this is, like, that's quite a distance. Here's the engine section of the ship. As you can see, it's got very many engines. So many that I've not even counted because I'm lazy. But it does look really good from this angle. It would look really cool if you kind of hung it up with string, because it has that handle, which I should probably show off. You can use this handle quite well. You know, very strong, very shakeable. So we have this feature here, which is probably the Malevolence's main feature. So in the show, it has the ion cannons, you know, that disable the venators and stuff. Obviously, they can't put an EMP inside a Lego set, but this is a pretty cool way of doing it. So you have these bubble cockpit pieces that open up. It's the same on either side. So the way this works is you can put your finger here, it's got a trigger, and you do have to automatically turn it. Wait 1 second. See? Yeah, we can put that bit back on. I don't know why, but I'm just double checking out the feature right. See? Right, you kind of rotate and fire the missiles. Again, this is before 2014 when they did away with flick fire missiles and got the spring-loaded shooters. And personally, I think flick fire missiles look better as well, because they actually blend in with the way the ship looks. You do get this on both sides. It is a feature that works quite decently. And I do like the fact they give you this piece just to stop them from coming out in case you accidentally hit the trigger. So that works out quite well as well. So I'm just going to show it off a little bit more with the handle. It does look really nice, this set. And it is the biggest separatist set. If you're doing a droid army, this is one of those ones that you would need, because there's nothing else this big that they've made. Lego has skipped most separatist ships. Like, when it comes to building a battle droid army, even now, 10 years after this set came out, you still cannot build a droid army the way you would want. Lego do not release droid sets to build up your droid army. So like, if you buy the ATTE, which released this summer, you get free battle droids. If you buy the Republic fighter tank that released in the middle of this year, you got 2 battle droids. You get the droids in the clone sets, which I'm saying because it means they're not releasing wonderful sets like this. This is a really cool set. Anyway, let's go on to the instructions, of which there is 2 booklets and a comic inside them. So this set not doesn't have one. It has 2 instruction booklets. So like I said, unfortunately I don't have the box, but this should give you a rough idea of what the box would look like. You got the Darth Maul in the corner because this was 2012. He was in all the 2012 sets. You got a little explosion there, booklet 1. You got that moon in the back. There's meant to be a name for that moon. I can't remember the exact name of that moon. 9515, and this is the end where the instructions take you, telling you to go on to book 2. This is kind of where I take a decent amount of building done. As you can see, you're just building the seat and adding like small interior sections. So yeah, let's look on at the second booklet. Book 2 is where it's at, so just to show you what, random bits. This is one of the back panels. More back, actually that's the front. And if you come all the way to the end, you get obviously your parts guide. But something even cooler is, yeah, it shows you all the features that I already showed you and how you could arrange these minifigs. But something even cooler is in 2012 and maybe in 2013, maybe they stopped it then, I can't remember. We have a comic strip, so it shows you General Grievous and stuff doing evil things, more evil things. Anakin and Padme are going to fight Dooku in a battle droid, and there's more fighting. Grievous apparently just disappeared for some reason. And something even nicer on the back, which I own a good 90% of the stuff that's here, is these are some of the other sets you could buy in the summer of 2012. The Desert Skiff, CTC Tinged Jedi Starfighter, a Republic class Striker Starfighter, the Gungan sub which I've reviewed, the Sith Fury class Interceptor, the Malevolence you're watching the review of right now, and back in January I reviewed the Jabba's Palace. And here you have the minifigures, so I own most of the minifigures here. Let's see, from here, these ones here, Darth Malgus, and then from here down, I pretty much own all of those. On the back is like the Comic Builder website. You can visit that. I doubt that it's still active. I don't think you could probably do that anymore. You got the whole Lego Club thing, and on the back you got the Lego Win stuff. So after a month and a half of having it lying around, I've reviewed it. Thoughts on this set? Should you buy it? Should you not buy it? The answer is yes, buy it. It's unique because they're not going to make any other big separatist ships. I mean, they don't even seem interested in making things like Venators anymore. But, given the fact that they've recently done an ATTE, means we might start to get stuff like this again. Although, for the separatists, probably not. They don't seem interested in doing big separatist things. And again, this set is worth it for different reasons. You get 2 figures that were brand new in 2012. You do get Count Dooku and General Grievous, which are minifigures they don't do anymore, very much. Especially Count Dooku. The last time we've seen a Count Dooku was in 2013. General Grievous has been a little more recent. Even a few more sets. They don't do the tan version of him anymore. They only do the white version. And it's nice to get a Padme. They don't come in many sets. The Anakin is in the battle droid. Those were another sets. They're quite good. So it all comes down to price. Now you could pay up to $300 for this sealed, which isn't that bad. Considering you get things like Venators and Star Destroyers that easily $500-600 brand new in the box. Like, those things are crazy money. Whereas this is not too bad. I paid $150 for mine. If you can get yours between $150 and $200, that's not a bad price. It has some nice features like the ion cannon. It has some of an interior, but for someone like me, the adult collector, this will sit on a shelf. It does have the decent, carrying handle. But yeah, so thanks for watching. The next video is on Friday, because this is the last video of November. Our Friday video will be the channel update for December. And this will not be the last 2012 set I do of this year. I was going to say I've got another surprise one that will be coming out, or will be getting mentioned on Friday. Anyway, thanks for watching. The next review will be on the 2009 Home 1 Mon Calamari Star Cruiser. Set 7749.